Little Knicks, no trade.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks rehab, y'all. Let's rehab this loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks were unable to win 8 in a row after winning 7 in a row. Big night from Tyrese Maxey, who I thought, hey, they're not giving him the ball enough. And the second half turned up. He showed up. 116-107 victory for the 76ers over the New York Knicks. Our Knicks. Is the box score from the 76ers. There was 30 from Tyrese Maxey, 11 from 24 from the field, 6 of 12 from three. 23 for VJ Edgecombe, who I learned his name is Valdez Drexler. That's some like real hood Bronx Spanish shit. Valdez Drexler. He's Bohemian, but if he keeps this up, we might claim him over here in DR. 14 points, 13 rebounds for Andre Drummond. Get the fuck out. He got a 3-pointer now. I hate Andre Drummond. 11 points for Dominic Barlow, who's coming around apparently. Paul George, 7 points for him. He had a bad shooting night. I think they said that Philly is 7-1 with Paul George back in the lineup, and when Embiid doesn't play again, Joel Embiid out. Jared McCain, second-year player, he's coming around from the injury towards knee up. I think it was last season, 12 points. He's getting a little shifty out there. Put Kolek in a blender. But to our Knicks now, Karl Anthony Towns, 22 points, 11 rebounds. Decent game. Great passes to Mitchell Robinson. 21 points for Mikal Bridges. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Shot well from the field, 9 of 16. Mitchell Robinson. Knicks messed up a big-time Mitchell Robinson day. 21 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. You heard that correct. 7 of 8 from the field, 8 from the free throw line. Ended up with 21 points, a huge 16 rebounds, 6 offensive, six of the rebounds were offensive. OG Anunoby bad shooter tonight, 1 from 9 from the field. That's back-to-back games. It's been his MO though. He has a great game and he just shows up with a couple of duds afterwards. That's why he follows it up. That's been his thing. Jordan Clarkson, 9 points, 4 or 6 from the field. Only 15 minutes of action. I thought he would have played some more. Kolek with 15 minutes of action after his coming out party. 5 fouls. He looked bad out there against the athletic guards on the back-to-back night. 2 points for him, 1 of 3 from the field. The major thing that stands out about Kolek is the 4 turnovers. Even though he ended up with a +4 in the plus-minus department, it didn't feel that way. And, of course, Garshawn Yabusele hit a 3-pointer when he was in there. The Knicks crowd showed some support for him. And Jalen Brunson, I don't know if I mentioned him, 22 points, 7 of 22 from the field. It was like 10 shots too many for me. He knew his legs weren't there. 1 of 7 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. The Knicks got a lot of free throws in the game. You see here, Philly just controlled most of the game. See the red skyscrapers. Second half, third quarter went downhill. In the fourth quarter, they just finished us off. There was 19 different lead changes, and the Knicks dominated on the glass. All ball, just dominated 61-42, and that was all game long. 26-20, they won the assist battle. 7-3, Philly got that one. 8-3, Philly got the blocks as well. 7-3 was the steals. 10 turnovers for Philly, 18 for the Knicks. That's where we got messed up at, along with shooting 44% from the field and 25% from 3 to Knicks and 84% from the free throw line, improvement from yesterday. But Philly shot 45% from the field, 41% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line after a slow start from the three-point line, from the three-point range. The Philadelphia 76ers did. All ball. Let's get right to it. Back to business. Big night for Mitchell Robinson, but nobody else. What do you think about our night tonight with the New York Knicks against the 76ers in this loss?
Terrible night. Terrible night. I'm gonna put this on Mike Brown. You have to understand your personnel. You have to understand Brunson didn't have it like tonight, and this is not defending him because he was terrible. I'll get to him later. But turnovers. Turnovers. You have to see that they were picking and attacking on Tyler Kolek, who was horrific tonight. Why did Kolek play so many minutes, and why did he play as many minutes as Jordan Clarkson? At least Jordan Clarkson, those guards, they don't attack him as easily as Kolek. So for me, I have to put this on Mike Brown. This is a tough loss. I know people are trying to say don't worry about it. This was a legit trap game. We was coming off a high. Remember, we supposed to protect home. We are great at home. But I've been telling everybody, Philly has a backcourt that is dangerous. Dangerous. And we know what Maxey can do. So for us to just allow them to just shoot wide open threes, um, turn the ball over. Brunson just kept forcing shots after shot, knowing you don't have your legs. Everything was short. Um, but for me, turnovers. Mike Brown, you cannot spoil you a night like this when Mitchell Robinson plays this good. So for me, I games like this, I would like to see a guy like Cat pick it up when Brunson doesn't have it, and vice versa. That's the purpose of having two all-stars, superstars, stars, whatever you want to call them, right? It's your opinion or whatever you think they are.
especially
But
after having a night off yesterday.
right, exactly. So for me, this is on Mike Brown and Brunson. This was a tough game to watch. I couldn't understand, we leaving Cat, you leaving Andre Drummond wide open. Um, but for me, it's just bad basketball. It was at a point where I forgot Josh Hart was even in the arena, let alone in the game. And it's just like I don't know what type of game, Mike Brown was coaching tonight. You left Josh Hart on the bench too long. You left Kolek out there for too long after seeing what was going on. Uh, so for me, we just looked bad tonight. Bad tonight. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know if it's we play so many games in so many days, but games like this, let me explain something to y'all. It's 5 teams that I can't stand that I do not want to lose to ever. One of them is Philly, Indiana, Miami, Boston, and the Lakers. Anybody else I'm fine with. But to lose to our rivals at home, listen, I keep telling everybody, every night we're going to get everyone's best, especially when they come in the garden. You have to be prepared. Yeah, we earning the respect of the league, but you can't just leave it to that. You still have to come out and play. Philly played tonight like we don't care who y'all are. We don't care about the NBA Cup. We don't care about Brunson being this. We don't care about none of that. We going at y'all. We don't care how good Tyler Kolek's been looking. We are going at y'all. Philly and that coaching staff had a game plan. Mike Brown and our Knicks, we didn't have a game plan tonight. I think Mike Brown just threw us out there and just figured, hey, we riding this wave. We on a real high right now. We at home. We damn near undefeated at home. This win is a gimme. No, not with Maxey is in the building. Do we not remember what happened in the playoffs? Like this young man is the truth. So I think tonight, um, this is what we mean when we talk about being consistent. If you're going to be a championship contending team, you keep your foot on the neck. You keep it on there. I think tonight was just a bad night, and especially against Philadelphia, a team that, 9 times out of 10, we may have to play in the playoffs. You can allow certain teams to have confidence because now when they meet you in the playoffs, their confidence is even higher. So for me, Brunson has to realize, okay, I don't have my legs. Let me be a decoy. Let me get guys open. Let me help get guys open. And let me just make the right pass. There was a spray three that I love where Brunson drove to the lane and kicked it out to Mikal Bridges in the corner. Mikal hit the wide open three. Why wasn't we doing that more often? Why late in the game? Why Mitchell Robinson wasn't in the game? Why didn't you keep him in the game? Was he on a minutes restriction still? He was a monster. Well, for me, this was just a bad game from a coaching standpoint. Um, and it was just a tough game to watch, Fabian. I'm just being honest with you. It was up and down. But turnovers. Lord have mercy. As bad as OG was, as bad as Brunson was, as horrific as Kolek was, and to me, as bad as a job Mike Brown did tonight, turnovers. That was the game. It was a play where we got a 2-for-1 and Clarkson couldn't inbound a ball. And then just that, so tonight, tonight was almost like voodoo or something. Just like, all right, once I see Drummond hit 2 threes, my mind, I said, we probably going to lose this game. And Maxey and VJ just tough shot after tough shot. So tonight was just a weird game. I know the chat is saying don't worry about it too much, but for me, I just don't like losing to our rivals, teams that I hate and despise. Right? Respect them, but I can't stand the teams that I name. So that's what hurts the most. But also at home, we are great at home. We supposed to protect home court. So for me, I just don't understand why Mike Brown didn't play Clarkson more minutes over Kolek. I don't know what point he was trying to prove. Like I said, today was just a bad game, and hopefully we bounce back. But what I know when they watch this tape, it was just too many mistakes and just too many turnovers and pivotal moments. Couldn't get no stops. It was just bad. It was just bad all around the board. So for me, I put this on Brunson and Mike Brown. Now I'll discuss Brunson later. I'm a Brunson stan, but I gotta give him some smoke too. But Mike Brown tonight, I didn't see a game plan, Fabian. Not one at all.
I totally agree. I think the game plan was as usual though. That was kind of the problem. You couldn't because he was quoted as talking about the schedule for with the NBA Cup Finals. Not I like what Tory B said. Maybe they should start treating it like the All-Star game where you block it off for 2 days before, 2 days after. They got to travel like that. I'm not big on harping too much on this, and because if I was a player, I'd be like, "Yo, we can't talk about this schedule and I'm gonna go down in history with the rest of these guys that played in the 60s and 70s with Converse sneakers, riding the bus, riding in coach. It's not even comparable what we talking about here. I'm going down in history with these guys, so it's hard for them to complain. I understand Mike Brown has to fight for all that, but if he knew that going into this game, he benched everybody yesterday. That means you knew going into this game, Kolek. Let's see how he does on the back to back. He had a great 2 games. The NBA Cup Finals doesn't count. Um, Mitchell Robinson just a monster game, proving he is what we've been saying. What I always thought, just defensive player of the year caliber kind of guy. If he's healthy, if he plays 70 games, he's going to be in the running for defensive player of the year. But we know he can't do that. Has been unable to do that. But this is like probably his best Nick stat performance of all time. Because I've seen other games, them playoff performances against the Celtics, like the way he goes from one end to the other like a safety, and then is able to just play just amazing defense, lock down perimeter guys, smack BJ Edgecombe's shot to the stands, and then smack BJ Edgecombe's layup. That's who he is. Just a great performance. And the all ball, what I say, Mitch Twitch conspiracy is in full effect. Like I text y'all, he got the ball how many times? 8 times, and all of a sudden he hit 7 free throws. Oh boy, the same amount of free throws that he made and attempted is the same amount of field goal attempts that he made and attempted.
I still
You
think
heard
I'm crazy.
it?
Still sound crazy.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
That trainer blew it all up. And it's exposing a game like today. And I'll get into the Brunson thing now because he started off the exact way that I wanted him to when we knew he was already starting to look bad at the end of the first quarter yesterday. His legs looked short. He hit the game winner, but you could see he wasn't able to get to that extra gear today. He played way too many minutes in the first quarter. He played 36 minutes in total today. Maybe Kohler should have got into the first quarter sooner. Clarkson, if you saw Kohler didn't have it, bring Clarkson in there. You were able to play Diawara, Huck Porty, Yabusele, uh, Jemison, all these guys you were able to play last night. Not one of them impressed you enough. I know he gave Diawara a chance, but you got to spell some minutes for Brunson when your stars clearly he needs some rest. You got to find more time to rest him for the third and fourth quarters of a game like this. Listen, we said it from the beginning of the season. The 76ers, with those athletic perimeter players, it's very similar to San Antonio minus Wemby because Joel Embiid isn't there. That's why my conspiracy is that they're going to be on the trading block with Giannis soon. And they're going to trade one of them guys for him because how close are they to really contending when you got these guys are real just dogs? Kolek, you can see on a back-to-back, it's tough for him to guard some of these perimeter dudes who are super skilled, athletic, talented, and everything. So it's going to be tough for him. And Brunson started off the game passing the ball, manipulating the defense, taking on the double team, and then kicking it out, finding an open man. But he got away from that and he started shooting too much. And it's like, bro, you know, I can see it. I know you're trying to push through it, and he's probably used to pushing through it because he's a killer. That's what he does. But tonight was not the night, especially in the second half when you had all the minutes played in the first half. Mike Brown should have seen that. So I totally agree with you. Is it just one game, y'all? Of course it's just one game, chat. I get it. But at the same time, this is a Philly team who is playoff bound. We could see them in the playoffs potentially, especially if we don't lock in the first seed. You got Boston, who Jason Tatum is supposed to be recovering from an Achilles injury in the quickest at the quickest speed in the history of mankind. Then you have Toronto up and down. RJ Barrett's going to come back to be a little more competitive. And with Philly, who's to say they're not holding him off? They're not holding off their star player, Joel Embiid, to the playoffs. They already gave us problems when he dropped the 50 ball on us on one leg. And I think whatever was messing up his face, the Cerebral palsy. But just Josh Hart, like you said, disappearing act, OG Anunoby disappearing act. And I don't know who could have really picked up in this game, maybe besides Cat. Because the pass he gave to Mitchell Robinson was amazing all ball from the top of the key. But he had to be. This is one of those games where maybe we're so used to seeing and looking at dynamic duos throughout history. And, like Shaq and Kobe stand out, right? And neither one, I mean, to compare them to Shaq and Kobe is crazy. But this would have been a game where Shaq would have seen Kobe was a little bit lacking. Kobe would have seen Shaq and was like, yo, bro, I got you. I got us. And Cat doesn't really have that gear, that competitive gear to be like, yo, I'm taking this over. What y'all talking about? Nobody on this team is messing with me. I'm all NBA. So him, Mike Brown, I would have loved to see more of a conversation with them. Yo, get the ball to Brunson's hand. He's going to bring the ball up. If we give him the ball, he's going to shoot the ball. He's bugging. He was bugged the entire fourth quarter. He was not thinking straight. He had to get rid of the ball, boy. I didn't like anything about his game tonight except for the first half of the first quarter.
What I realized with our Knicks, um, the coaching staff, you have to save Brunson from himself a lot of nights. This is not only one game, and the reason why I say that is because this happens with us with Brunson at least 10 to 15 times season, maybe 20 times a season, where he doesn't have it and he tries to force it. This is where you're supposed to feature Cat. Now we know Cat isn't vocal, so Cat is never going to be a Shaq, and I'm not talking about skill set, but as far as verbal, as far as vocal, as far as hey, throw me the fucking ball down here. See, this is a night where Cat was supposed to have 40. How many times are we going to expect Brunson to carry us when we have another superstar on the team? And that's not, defending Brunson because he deserves a lot of smoke. He has to acknowledge and understand when he doesn't have it, you have another guy there. That was the purpose of trading for Cat. So I think the coaching staff, Mike Brown, this is when, you get in the huddle and you explain to Brunson. The same way Phil Jackson was in the huddle and explained to Mike. Push your guys. That's the ball. Remember, this is Phil Jackson talking to Michael Jordan, the GOAT. This is when Mike Brown was supposed to be in that huddle with Brunson. Hey, Brunson, push your guys. Let's feature Cat here. Nobody on Philly can guard him. And let Cat bring us home. So for me, the coaching staff has to understand their personnel. Maybe this wasn't the night for Brunson. Maybe you have in the backcourt Kolek and Clarkson. I don't know, but you have to try something. You have to be able to protect home court. And like I said, you can't give a Philadelphia team that much confidence because I'm gonna keep repeating it. Everybody that plays against us, they give us their all. And we have to understand that. Nobody's gonna have an off night against the Knicks. Everybody hates the Knicks. Everybody dislikes the Knicks. Everybody loves playing in the Garden. So every night you're gonna get everyone's best. So we have to play up to our potential every night. You can't take a night off. So for me, guys like OG, rough night, make it up on the other end, on the defensive end, make it up rebounding, make it up some way. Josh Hart, once again, bad night, make it up another way. Make it up another way. I'm not saying you can stop Maxey, but let's try to slow him down. For me, I just think tonight was just very rough. And this is what a lot of sports analysts, podcasts, and just everybody that loves the game, this is why nobody goes all in with the Knicks, except diehard Knicks fans like us. Because we have these type of games more than less. And you cannot have these when you're competing for a championship. Now, if this went down to the wire or went in overtime, that's a different ball game. But the way we lost this game tonight with just low basketball IQ plays, just a lot of bad turnovers, and just the coaching staff just leaving guys in there for too long. Like I said, Kolek and Brunson, terrible tonight. Brunson, you have to save him from himself.
And y'all know what this was.
Knicks Rehab.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.